right, so welcome. Go ahead and start by just finding a comfortable cross-legged seat. When you've arrived, let the eyes close. And right away, start to notice what you are paying attention to. Are you still a little foggy, still waking up? Is the mind already racing and going? Are you noticing the temperature of the air? Are you noticing the ground beneath you? Are you noticing the breath? I want to share just a little passage with you by Karen Mazin Miller. And she writes, "We have only one brain, and it pays attention to only one thing at a time. The fact is, we are often so distracted, overstimulated, and preoccupied with our own thoughts and feelings that we aren't paying attention to much of anything at all. No matter what the job description, we all have just one job: to focus our attention on what is in front of us and to let our attention go to work. Where do you invest your time, your life, and your love, knowing that whatever you pay attention to thrives?" I invite you first thing this morning as you're practicing to really begin noticing what you pay attention to moment, and start to ask yourself if what you are paying attention to is truly what you want to have thrive within your life. Take a slow, deep breath in and let all the breath go. Joining the palms in prayer at the heart center, lifting the heart up toward the thumbs, opening 3 ohms together. Breathing in the vibrations of Om, letting everything else go. Float the eyes open, interlace the hands, and just start to make some figure 8s with your wrists, getting a little bit of movement going in the joints. And then without thinking about it too much, just reverse the figure 8. It probably won't be a figure 8. Yes, that's okay. Just keep the movement going. And let that go. Shake the fingers out, shake the wrists out. Coming onto your hands and knees, stacking the shoulders right over the wrists, hips over the knees, spreading the fingers evenly. Wrist creases are parallel to the front of the mat. Beginning to move through some cat and cow as you inhale, tuck the toes under, lift the gaze, tip the tailbone up. Exhaling for cat, untuck the toes, rounding chin to chest, navel to spine. Inhaling for cow, tucking the toes under, opening wide across the collarbones. Exhaling for cat, untuck the toes, drawing navel to spine, chin to chest. Let the eyes float closed, keep moving. Inhaling for cow. Exhaling for cat. And start to notice what you're paying attention to, what's capturing your attention. Inhaling for cow, let the abdomen hammock down. Exhaling for cat, rounding low back, mid back, and upper back. Taking one more round of cow and cat here and noticing what is capturing your attention. meeting me in a neutral spine. Lengthen the right leg long behind you with the toes tucked under and just rock back and forth a little bit here, opening up through the foot, starting to open up through the back of the leg. And then bring that right knee down. Lengthen the left leg long behind you, all 5 toes tucked under, rocking back and forth, mindful that you're not dropping the head or rounding the shoulders here. And then bring that left knee down to the mat. Taking one more round of cat and cow. Inhale, tuck the toes under, lift the gaze, tip the tailbone up. As you exhale and round into cat, how articulate can you be with the entire back body here? Coming to your neutral spine once again, lengthen the right leg long behind you. Left foot meets it in plank pose, top of a push-up. Just like you did one foot at a time, start to shift forward and back here, engaging through the low abdominal muscles, starting to engage through the front of the thighs a little bit more, beginning to feel the strength of the arms. And then with your next exhale, press back to your first downward dog, that inverted V shape. Sit bones are reaching up, heels are dropping down, gaze is right between your big toes. And then start to pedal through the feet here, sending one heel closer to the ground and then the other. It might feel nice to shake the head out a little bit. Maybe you spiral the torso, maybe you sway the hips. Just see what feels good for you in this moment. And then gradually start to drop into stillness. Pulling up through the front of the thighs, shifting a little more weight into the legs. Notice where the weight is in the hands. Can you anchor into the thumbs and forefingers just a little bit more? Noticing the texture of the mat underneath the toes, really present right here, right now. Grounded on your own 2 feet and your own 2 hands. Beginning to move with your breath as you inhale, come forward to plank. Lower the knees, press back as if you were going to child's pose, stretching through the back and the arms. Extend out to plank pose, strong and steady. Lower the knees, the chest and the chin, elbows point straight back. Baby cobra, scoop the heart forward and up as you point the toes back. Downward dog as you exhale, pressing the chest toward the tops of the thighs. Inhale forward to plank. Lower the knees, hips to the heels, extending through the back, stretching through the feet, stretching through the arms. Lengthen out to plank pose, navel to spine. Lowering the knees, the chest and the chin. Baby cobra, really anchor into the tops of the feet here. Hug those elbows in. Downward dog as you exhale, gazing right between your big toes. One more time, just like that. Inhale forward to plank. Lower the knees, hips to the heels. Try to keep even those pinky toes tucked under here. Extending out to plank pose. Lowering the knees, the chest and the chin. Baby cobra, baby bhujangasana. Downward dog as you exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a full breath here, deep inhale. And let all the breath go as you exhale. Inhale that right leg up, 3-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Start to circle the right ankle in one direction. As you reverse the ankle circles, try to square the shoulders off just a little bit more. And then lengthen that right leg long, square the hips off. Step the foot between the thumbs. Pause here, take a really deep breath in. As you exhale, lower that left knee down, untuck the toes. Sweep the arms up to frame your face, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, shrug the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Exhale, drop the shoulders. Circle the hands behind your back, interlace the fingers. Draw the knuckles down the back of your left thigh as you lift the heart and the gaze. Let those hips shift forward and down. Release the interlacing of the hands. Sweep the arms back, up, and then down to frame your right foot. Tuck the left toes under, lift that left knee and thigh. Feet stay right where they are. Straighten that right leg just as much as you can here. Right away, tune into what captured your attention. Where did the thoughts immediately go? What physical sensation did you immediately latch on to? Can you return to the breath, to the present moment? Can you stay mindful of what you give your attention to, remembering that that is what will thrive? As you inhale, rebend your right knee over the right ankle, plant the palms, step back to your downward dog, maybe just noticing if there's a difference between the right side and the left side after stretching. Inhale forward to plank, downward dog as you exhale, flowing with your breath. Inhaling forward to plank, gaze past the top edge of the mat. Downward dog as you exhale, gaze between your big toes. Inhale forward to plank. Stay here as you exhale. Take one more breath in, and then lower the knees, the chest, and the chin. Baby cobra, scoop the heart forward and up, anchor into the tops of the feet. Downward dog as you exhale, relax through the jaw, anchor into those thumbs and forefingers. Reach the left leg up, three-legged dog, open the hip, bend the knee. Start to circle that left ankle in one direction. Reverse the ankle circles, firm up through the front of your right thigh, strong through your base. Lengthen that left leg long, square the hips off. Step the left foot between your thumbs. Physically scoop it up. Take a second step if it didn't quite make it. Deep breath in here. Get longer through the back body. As you exhale, lower that right knee down. Untuck the toes. Sweep the arms up to frame your face. Anjaneyasana. Inhale, shrug the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Exhale, drop the shoulders. Circle the hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers the non-habitual way. Other thumb on top, other pinky on bottom. As the hips shift forward and down, lift up out of the waist. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. Stay relaxed through the jaw and the throat. Release the interlacing of the hands. Sweep the arms back up to frame your face and down to the mat. Tuck those right toes under, lift the right knee and thigh. Feet stay where they are as you straighten that left leg, folding forward. Feel the low abdomen spiral over the top of your left thigh to help you square the hips. Can you find a little more length through the spine? So you're not rounding through the mid and upper back, but you're really lengthening. And then you're hinging over that left leg from the hips a little bit more. That right heel is actively reaching back and down. Where's your attention going in this moment? As you inhale, rebend your left knee over the left ankle. Plant the palms, step back to your downward dog. Flowing with your breath as you inhale, come forward to plank pose, strong and steady. Downward dog as you exhale, initiating from the low abdominal muscles. Inhale, coming forward to plank pose. Stay open across the chest and the shoulders. Downward dog as you exhale, shifting a little more weight into the legs. Inhaling forward to plank pose. Stay here as you exhale. Think of pressing the ground away with the hands. One more breath in. Lower the knees, the chest and the chin. Baby cobra, scoop the heart forward and up. Press back to child's pose as you exhale. Big toes touch, knees are just as wide as they need to be here. Really allowing the third eye, the center of your forehead, to press into the mat. Take a moment here to connect with your breath, to simply ground down. Now one more breath here. Slow, deep inhale into the entire back body. As you exhale, soften through the hip creases, soften through the shoulders. Gaze forward just past your fingertips, staying as close to the mat as you can. Slide out to your baby cobra. And then press back to your downward dog. Feel the backs of the thighs actively press toward the back edge of the mat. Deep, deep breath in here. And let all the breath go. Slowly start to walk your feet up to the top edge of the mat. Absolutely no rush to arrive. When you're at the very top of the mat, you're going to soften the knees a little bit. Let the weight spill forward. Shake the head yes. Shake the head no. Shake the head maybe. And then catch opposite elbows here. Feel the sit bones tip up as the crown of the head and the forearms drop down. Little bit of a bend to those knees. And then let yourself sway side to side here. Torso swinging just like an elephant trunk. Switch elbows on top so you're holding the non-habitual way, and then let yourself sway a little bit more. Come to center, release the elbows, keep the knees bent and the head heavy. Slowly, slowly start to roll up one vertebra at a time. Your head is the very last thing to arrive. When you have arrived, no rush. You'll shrug the shoulders up and back a few times. And just let yourself find stillness, standing tall in Tadasana, mountain pose. Lift all 10 toes for a moment, spread them wide, and then lower the toes back down. As you ground down through the feet, lift up out of the waist. Drop the chin to the chest, circle the right ear to the right shoulder. Just pause for a moment here. Bring your chin back to your chest, circle the left ear to the left shoulder, and just pause. Bring your chin back to your chest, bring the hands into prayer at the heart center. Take a moment here, connect with yourself, connect with your breath. As you inhale, lift the gaze, reach your prayer up. Interlace the fingers, flip your palms up, reach up and over to the right side. Nice side stretch here. Come back up through center, reaching up and over to the left side. Come back up through center, press the palms up as you look up, drop the shoulders down. Palms together, draw your prayer through the midline, folding forward over the legs. Inhaling to a flat back, tailbone lengthens back, crown of the head reaches forward. Step your right foot back to your low lunge. Deep breath in, left knees directly over the left ankle. Downward dog as you exhale, relax through the jaw and the brow. Inhaling forward to plank pose, top of a push-up. Slowly lower straight down to the mat. One solid piece meets the ground. Baby cobra, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Lower the forehead down to the mat. Tuck the toes under. Press up to plank pose. What got your attention there? Downward dog as you exhale. Take a deep breath in. Let all the breath go. Inhale the left leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square the hips. Step the foot between your thumbs. Lower that right knee down, untuck the toes. Keep pressing into the top of that right foot, shoelace side of the foot. Just lift the knee and the thigh here. Notice what's capturing your attention. Yes, there's probably quite a bit of sensation through the front of that right hip and thigh. Lower that right knee back down. Tuck the right toes under. Lift that right knee and thigh. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, straighten the left leg, folding forward. Inhale back to your low lunge. Exhale, the right foot meets the left at the top of the mat, releasing over the legs. Sweep the arms out and up, high prayer. Exhale, prayer to the heart center. Inhale, reach your prayer up, look up. Interlace the fingers, flip your palms up, reach up and over to the left side first. Feel that right shoulder really spiral open. Come back up through center, reaching up and over to the right side. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Come back up through center, ground down through the feet, press up through the palms. Draw your palms together. Prayer comes through the midline, folding forward, release the head, release the breath. Inhaling to your flat back, try to get your chest parallel to the ground. Step the left foot back to your low lunge. Deep breath in here, get a little bit longer through the spine. Downward dog as you exhale, keep that length through the spine. Inhaling forward to plank pose, slowly lower straight down to the mat. Try to get both shoulders and both hips to meet the ground together. Baby cobra, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Lower the forehead down to the mat, tuck the toes under, press up to plank pose. Downward dog as you exhale, take a full breath here. Where's your attention getting drawn to? Is that what you want to flourish and thrive? Reaching that right leg up, three-legged dog, open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square the hips, step the right foot between the thumbs. Lower that left knee down, untuck the toes. Keep pressing into the top of that left foot and then lift the left knee and thigh. Relax the shoulders. Can you notice the physical sensations without getting too attached or wrapped up in them? Just noticing. Curiosity, yes? Not attachment. Lower that left knee back down, tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee and thigh. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, straighten the right leg. Inhale back to your low lunge. Exhale, the left foot meets the right at the top of the mat, folding over the legs. Sweep the arms out and up, high prayer. Exhale, prayer to the heart center. Inhale, reach your prayer straight up to the ceiling. Interlace the fingers, flip your palms up, reaching up and over to the right side. Really anchor into the outer edge of your left foot here. Come back up through center, reach up and over to the left side. Keeping both shoulders and hips square to the front of the mat. Come back up through center, lifting up out of both sides of the waist, palms together. Draw your prayer through the midline as you fold forward over the legs. Just let everything go here. Inhaling to your flat back, extending long through the spine. Step the right foot back to your low lunge. Deep breath in. Downward dog as you exhale. Inhaling forward to plank, slowly lower straight down to the mat. Hug those elbows in toward your midline. Notice where the weight is in the fingers. Baby cobra, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Lower the forehead down to the mat, tuck the toes under, press up to plank pose, strong and steady. Downward dog as you exhale. Take a full breath here. Try to even out the inhales and the exhales. Reach that left leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square the hips. Step the foot between the thumbs. Lower that right knee down, untuck the toes. Keep pressing into the top of the right foot as you lift that right knee and thigh. How's the breath? Where are the thoughts going? Can you lift that right knee and thigh just a little bit more? It's okay if the answer was no. Lower that right knee back down, tuck the toes under, lift the knee and thigh again. Deep breath in, get long through the spine. As you exhale, straighten that left leg, folding forward. Inhale back to your low lunge. Right foot meets the left at the top of the mat, releasing over the legs here in Uttanasana. Sweep the arms out and up, high prayer. Exhale, prayer to the heart center. Inhale, reach your prayer straight up to the ceiling. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms up, reaching up and over to the left side, pressing into the outer edge of that right foot. Come back up through center, reach up and over to the right side. Relax through the shoulders. Come back up through center, grounding down on both feet, reaching up with both palms. prayer hands, and then draw your prayer through the midline. Fold forward over the legs. Let the weight rock forward in the feet here. Inhaling to your flat back. Reach nice and long through the spine. Step your left foot back to your low lunge. Deep, deep inhale. Downward dog. As you exhale, spread the toes and the fingers evenly. Inhaling forward to plank. Lowering straight down to the mat. Try to get both shoulders and hips to meet the ground together, but notice if one side is touching down before the other. Baby cobra, lift the heart and the gaze. Lower the forehead down to the mat. Tuck those toes under. Here as well, see if as you press up to plank, are both sides going at the same time? Maybe one side is feeling a little stronger than the other. Downward dog as you exhale. Those imbalances are okay. They exist in all of us, yes? The key is to simply notice them and work with them. Reach that right leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square the hips. Step that right foot between the thumbs. Lower the left knee down, untuck the toes. Pressing into the shoelace side of your foot. Lift that left knee and thigh. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. Drop into this moment, whatever this moment is for you. Lower that left knee. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee and thigh. Deep breath in as you exhale, straighten the right leg, folding forward. Let the head go, let the breath go. Inhaling back to your low lunge. Left foot meets the right at the top of the mat, folding over the legs in Uttanasana. Sweep the arms out and up, high prayer. Exhale, prayer to the heart center. Take a slow, deep breath in. And let all the breath go. Sitting into chair pose, Utkatasana. Let the weight rock back into the heels. Peek down for a moment. Make sure that you can see all 10 toes. If you can't, rock the weight back a little bit more. And then check that the knees are directly in alignment with the middle toes and you're not rolling in or out here. Lift the heart, lift the chin, lift the gaze, but drop those shoulders. Sit the hips a little bit lower. What's capturing your attention? How important is it? And release over the legs. Let everything go here. As you inhale, find a flat back, tailbone lengthens back, crown of the head reaches forward. Step your right foot back to your low lunge. Left foot meets it in plank pose, top of a push-up. Take a deep breath in here. Stay as you exhale. One more deep breath in. Slowly lowering straight down to the mat with your exhale. Baby cobra, when you've arrived, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Hover the palms off the mat, circling the hands behind your back, interlace the fingers. Reach the knuckles back, try to lift your thumbs away from your seat. Keep pressing into the tops of the feet. Reach the chest forward and up just a little bit more if you can. And release down to the mat, hands by your sides, rest the right cheek down. It feels good to sway the hips a little, sway the hips. And then rest the opposite cheek down, left cheek presses down into the mat. Again, if it feels good to sway the hips, sway the hips. And then bring your forehead back down to the mat. Bring the hands right under the shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Press up to plank pose. Lowering halfway down, Chaturanga. Upward dog, come onto the tops of the feet. Thighs and knees hover off the mat. Downward dog as you exhale. Come back to the breath. So keep in mind, if Chaturanga and up dog are not feeling like what you need in this moment, in this practice, you can come back to lowering straight down and coming to baby cobra, or even knees, chest, chin, and baby cobra. Yes, listen to your body. This is your time and your space and your practice. As you inhale, reach that right leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square those hips off. Knee to the nose, get the shoulders right over your wrists. Three-legged dog, reach that right leg long behind you. Exhale, knee to the nose. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the nose. Step the foot between your thumbs. Stay with me here. Spin the left heel down to the ground. Keep the hands grounded. Notice what happened to the hips as you spun that left heel down. Can you draw the right hip back and in, and then maybe heel toe that right foot out to the side a little bit more so that you have even more space to square the hips. Now rise up to warrior one. In a perfect world, which this is not, both hips and shoulders would be square to the front of the mat. You want to really pull up through the front of that left leg, right? Just like when we had the foot on the ground and we were lifting. That same engagement, that same strength and flexibility. One more breath here. Can you lift up out of the waist, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Reach the arms back behind you. Circle the hands down to the mat. Step to plank pose. Lowering chaturanga halfway down. Upward dog as you inhale. Downward dog as you exhale. Inhaling the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale the knee to the nose. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the nose. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the nose, step the foot between your thumbs, hands stay grounded, just spin that right heel down. Notice what happened with the hips. For me, that right hip wants to really roll open. Can you press into that right pinky toe and draw the left hip back and in? Heel toe the left foot to the left just a little bit so that the hips have even more space to square. Left knee is over the left ankle as you rise up to warrior one. Anchor into that back foot a little bit more. See if you can pull the left hip crease back and in, but keep bending that left knee. Engage through those low abdominal muscles, right? So there's a little bit of a back bend, but we're not exaggerating it. Lift up out of the waist. What is capturing your attention here? Circle the arms back behind you, opening through the shoulders. Bring the hands down to the mat. Step to plank pose. Lowering chaturanga halfway down. Upward dog as you inhale. Downward dog as you exhale. Take a slow, deep breath in. And let all the breath go. Inhale the right leg up, three-legged dog. Knee to the nose, step the foot between the thumbs, warrior one, right away. Spin the left heel down, rise up, circle the arms back behind you and down to the mat, step to plank, lowering chaturanga, upward dog as you inhale, thighs and knees hover off the mat, downward dog as you exhale. Inhale that left leg up, three-legged dog, knee to the nose, step the foot between the thumbs, warrior one, anchor down through the back foot, circle the arms all the way back and down, lower the hands, step to plank, chaturanga, inhaling for your upward dog, think of pressing the mat away with the hands, downward dog as you exhale. Drop back into the breath. What is getting your attention? If it's distractions, if it's thoughts about what's to come later today or something that already happened, can you keep inviting yourself back into the present moment? As you inhale, lift up high onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, gaze forward. Either walk or hop to the top of the mat, flat back when you've arrived, and release over the legs. Let everything go for a moment. Sweep the arms out and up, high prayer. Exhale, prayer to the heart center. Find your breath. Find the steadiness and grounding of your own 2 feet beneath you. Sitting into chair pose, Utkatasana. Right away, where did the mind go? What were the thoughts? What was the reaction? Is that really what you want to cultivate and have thrive in your life? Can you sit just a little bit lower, lift the heart, lift the gaze, fold over the legs, let all of that go. Inhaling to your flat back, reaching nice and long through the spine. Step the left foot back to your low lunge. Right foot meets it in plank pose. Pause here. Keep the gaze past the top edge of the mat. Stay open across the chest. Don't start to round the shoulders or dome the back. One more breath in. Slower than you think you can. Lower all the way down to the mat. One solid piece. Baby cobra, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Hover the palms off the mat. Circle the hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers the non-habitual way. Other thumb on top, other pinky on bottom. Reach the knuckles back, lift the thumbs away from your seat. If you would like to lift your legs, go for it. If you want to keep those legs grounded, perfectly okay. One more breath here. Lift everything just a little bit higher and release down to the mat. Rest your left cheek down. If it feels good to sway the hips, sway the hips. And then rest the opposite cheek down. Just a little passive neck stretch here. Again, if it feels good to sway the hips, sway the hips. And bring your forehead down to the mat. Bring the hands right under your shoulders. Tuck the toes under. Press up to plank. You decide, vinyasa or downward dog, whatever you are needing in this moment, whatever your breath and body are asking for. We're meeting back in downward dog. Take a deep breath in all together. And let the breath go all together. Reach that right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the nose. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the nose. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the nose. Step the foot between your thumbs. Spin that left heel down. Rise up to warrior one. Circle the hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers with the left thumb on top, even if that is not your habitual way. As you inhale, lift the heart, lift the gaze, square those hips. Exhale, bow forward, devotional warrior. Crown of the head drops down, knuckles lightly reach up. Inhale, rise up, pull that right hip back and in. Exhale, bow forward, anchor into your left foot even more. Inhale, rise back up, lift up out of the waist, lift the heart and the gaze. Exhale, bow forward, devotional warrior. A moment of surrender and release. Inhale, rise back up, reach the arms up to frame your face. Warrior two, adjust that back foot if you need to so that the front heel is in the same line as the arch of your back foot. I'm gonna switch here so that I'm mirroring you. Flip that right palm, peaceful warrior, reach all the way up and back. Straightening the right leg. Reach forward for triangle, Trikonasana. So as the hips shift back, get longer through that right side waist. The right hand touches down to the ankle or shin. Left arm is reaching straight up toward the ceiling. Really wrap that right hip underneath you here. One more breath. What is getting your attention in this moment? Peaceful warrior, bend your right knee, reach all the way up and back. Cartwheel your hands into a low lunge twist. So that left hand touches down, the right arm sweeps back and up. And then reach that right arm overhead, circle the hand down to the mat. Feel the inner thighs hug in toward your midline. Rise up to your high lunge. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, rebend the knee. Draw that left knee up toward your chest. So really pull up through the standing leg. And then you're gonna point the knee down, catch the top edge of the foot. Draw those knees in toward one another. Really pull up through the standing leg and just pause here. Are you anticipating something that might come next? Is the balance all over the place, and is that causing some judgment? Bring that left knee back up toward the chest. Float back to your high lunge. Lower the hands down to the mat, step to plank pose. Vinyasa or downward dog, yogi's choice. We're meeting back in downward dog. Take a deep collective breath in all together. Exhale all together. Inhaling your left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the nose. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the nose. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the nose. Step the foot between the thumbs. Spin that right heel down. Really pull up through the front of the right thigh. Rise up to your warrior one. Circle the hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers with the right thumb on top, left thumb on bottom. Square those hips as you inhale, lift the heart and the gaze. Exhale, bow forward, devotional warrior. That left shoulder's coming inside of the left leg. Inhale, rise back up, press into the right pinky toe edge of the foot even more. Exhale, bow forward, relax the jaw, relax all 10 toes. Inhale, rise up, lift the heart, find that opening. Exhale, bow forward, find that surrender, that release. Inhale, rise back up, reach the arms up, opening to warrior two. Again, adjust that back foot so that the left heel, that front heel, is in the same line as the arch of your back foot. Flip your left palm, peaceful warrior. Reach, 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 reach. Straighten the left leg. Feel the length in your left side waist as you start to reach forward into triangle, Trikonasana. Don't lose that length in the left side waist. Reach the right fingertips toward the ceiling. Notice if you're straining the neck in one direction or the other, if you're drooping the head. Try to keep both sides of the neck equally as long. Peaceful warrior, bend that left knee as you reach all the way up and back. Cartwheel your hands into your low lunge twist. Right hand touches down, left arm sweeps back and up. Reach that left arm overhead and down to the mat. Grounded on both feet, rise up to your high lunge. Those inner thighs hug in toward the midline for stability. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, rebend the knee. Draw that right knee up toward your chest. Grounded on the left foot. Point that right knee down. Catch the top edge of the foot and then draw the knees in toward the midline. Really lift up out of that standing leg. Try to touch the ceiling with the left fingertips. And again, just notice. So for some of you, there's going to be a lot of sensation, a lot going on with the balance. For some of you, there might not be a whole lot of sensation in that right leg. The balance maybe was nailed, right? In both cases, the ego will start to talk pretty loudly, or the mind will start to create scenarios and distract us. Can you just drop into the breath and be present with whatever your experience is? Draw that right knee up toward your chest, reach both arms up, float back to your high lunge. Lower the hands down to the mat, step to plank pose. You decide, vinyasa or downward dog. We're meeting up together in downward dog. Let's sync up the breath, deep inhale. And let everything go as you exhale. Lift up high onto the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, gaze forward, either walk or hop to the top of the mat, flat back when you've arrived. And release over the legs. Let everything go here. Sweep the arms out and up, high prayer. Exhale, prayer to the heart center. Come back to the breath. We're going to flow through all of that a little more quickly with some added flourishes. How can you stay present with the breath and with yourself, right? That looks different for all of us. That looks different moment to moment, practice to practice. Allow yourself to simply dance with the breath. Here we go. Sitting into chair pose, Utkatasana, as you inhale. Exhale, folding over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhaling to your flat back, reaching long through the spine. Plant both palms. You can either step to plank or hop and land in chaturanga with those elbows bent. Inhaling for your upward dog. Exhaling back to your downward dog. Inhale the right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the nose, step the foot between your thumbs. Rise on up to warrior one as you inhale. Anchor down through that left heel. Circle the hands behind your back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, bow forward, devotional warrior. That right hip is really pulling in toward the midline and toward the back edge of the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. I'm switching so that I'm mirroring you. Flip your front palm, peaceful warrior. Straighten that right leg, reaching forward for triangle. Trikonasana, get longer and longer through both sides of the waist. Peaceful warrior, bend that right knee, reach up and back. Cartwheel your hands into your low lunge twist. Spin to the ball of your left foot. Reach that right arm overhead and down to the mat. Rise up to your high lunge. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, rebend the knee. Draw that left knee up toward your chest. Point the knee down, catch the top of the foot. Make an A-OK sign with those right fingertips. So thumb and forefinger touch. Start to kick that left shin behind you. As you kick the shin behind you, we're coming into dancing Shiva, yes? Don't just drop the torso. That leg kicks back, and then so you have more space. The torso reaches forward and then down a little bit. How's the breath? How's the ego? One more breath here. Really kick that left shin back. Reach the right fingertips forward. And draw the left knee up. Reach the arms up. A little bit of a release. Step back to your high lunge. Lower the hands down to the mat. Step to plank pose. And you're going to roll to the right hand and the outer edge of that right foot as you reach the left arm up for side plank Vashisthasana. Come back to plank, roll to the left side. Come back to plank. You decide, vinyasa or downward dog. Deep breath in. Let all the breath go. Try to smooth out the transitions. Reach the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the nose. Step the foot between your thumbs. Spin that right heel down. Rise on up to warrior one. Circle the hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Draw the knuckles down the back of the right thigh. Exhale, fold forward, devotional warrior. Lift through the front of that right thigh and hip even more. Rise back up, reach the arms up. Opening to warrior two, adjust your stance. Flip your left palm, peaceful warrior, reach all the way up and back. Straighten the left leg, reaching forward for triangle, Trikonasana. Left hand finds the left shin or ankle. Right arm is reaching straight up toward the ceiling. Peaceful warrior, bend your left knee, reach all the way up and back. Cartwheel the hands into your low lunge twist. Sweep that left arm overhead and down to the ground. Rise up to your high lunge. Embrace all the wobbles and bobbles. They teach us where center is. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, rebend the knee. Draw that right knee up toward your chest. And then point the knee down. Catch the top of the foot. A-OK sign with those left fingertips. Thumb and forefinger touch. Start to kick the right shin back. As you kick the shin back, there's a point where you don't quite have enough mobility anymore. That is when you reach the chest forward, not down, but lengthen forward. And there's a tiny bit of that tip so that you have more space to kick the shin back. Try to square the shoulders and hips to the front of your mat. One more breath here, you've got this. Draw the right knee up to the chest, reach the arms up. Step back to your high lunge. Lower the hands down to the mat, step to plank pose. Roll to the left side, reach that right arm up just like a seesaw. Bring the right hand down, roll to the right hand in the outer edge of that right foot, side plank. Come back to plank. You decide, vinyasa or downward dog. Everyone in your down dog, take a deep, deep breath in. And let all the breath go. Inhale forward to plank. Slowly lower all the way down to the mat as you exhale. Reach the arms long by your sides. Walk the legs a little bit closer to one another and a little bit farther behind you. As you inhale, lift and lengthen everything away from the mat for Shalabhasana. Find the buoyancy here. Find the lift. One more breath in. And release down to the mat. Rest the right cheek down. Big toes touch, heels wing open. That feels good to sway the hips a little, sway the hips. And bring your forehead back down to the mat. Walk the legs closer to one another and farther behind you. One last back bend here. Inhale, lift and lengthen everything away from the mat. Can you find a little bit of buoyancy, a little bit of freedom here? Can you lift a little bit higher? This pose is so good for our back, core muscles, and our posture. And release down to the mat. Rest the opposite cheek down. Big toes touch, heels wing open. Again, if it feels good to sway the hips a little, sway the hips. And bring the forehead down to the mat. Hands come under the shoulders. Child's pose, hips to the heels. Let the third eye, the center of your forehead, press into the ground. Take a really deep breath in. And let all the breath go. Deep, deep inhale. Let everything go as you exhale. Slowly roll up to sit on the shins. Let the hips fall to one side. Bring the legs out in front of you. And then you're going to bring the soles of your feet together. Let the knees fall open. Have the heels pretty far in front of you so you've got a nice wide diamond shape here. Sitting up as tall as you can. Reach the arms out and up. And then you're going to twist to the right. Bring that left hand to the right shin, sitting up nice and tall. The right fingertips are just by that right hip. And then let yourself round forward. Bring the left hand down to the mat. Bring the forehead down toward that right knee. Come back up to sit. Come through center. Reach the arms up. And then twisting to the left. Right hand to the left shin. That left arm is right by your side. As you inhale, sit up even taller. And then as you exhale, you're going to round forward. Bring the right hand in front of the shin, dropping your forehead toward that left knee. Keep weight evenly on both sit bones here. Don't let yourself rock all the way over to the left. Come back up to sit. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Draw your prayer through the midline and then let yourself fold forward, rounding through the back. Let the hips melt open, let the low back release, let the shoulders drop away from the ears. You're working toward getting the forehead toward the tops of the feet. Maybe that can happen if you stack your fists. Maybe that's not going to happen today or tomorrow or at all in this lifetime, and that's okay, yes. Just let the head release. Send a little bit of breath into your low back. Try not to grip through the front of the hips. Slowly roll back up to sit. Draw those knees in toward one another. Make sure you have space on the mat behind you, and then slowly start to lower down one vertebra at a time. When your entire spine has met the mat, hug the knees into your chest. Take a moment to allow the back and the shoulders to release. And then take a deep breath in. As you exhale, round your forehead up toward your knees. Make a tight, tight ball. Stay here for the inhale. As you exhale, lengthen the legs long. Reach the arms long overhead, stretching from the fingertips through the toes. And then let the hands come by your sides, palms face up. Let the feet flop open, mat width apart, allowing the eyes to close. Dropping into Shavasana, your final resting pose. Allow the back body to drop heavily into the ground beneath you. Allow the front body to just lightly rise and fall with the breath. As you find that sweet stillness, allow the efforts of your practice to soak in, remembering that no effort, no matter how small or how large, is ever wasted. Where do you invest your time, your life, and your love, knowing that whatever you pay attention to thrives? Let your next breath be a little bit deeper. Bring some gentle movements into the fingers and toes. Gently nod the head side to side. Bending the knees one at a time, slide the feet onto the mat. Reaching your arms long overhead, stretching through the torso. Gently roll to the right side into fetal position. Just pause there for a moment. Pressing into your top hand, come back to your cross-legged seat, Sukhasana. Allowing yourself to find stillness with the eyes closed once again. Joining the palms in prayer at the heart center. Lightly lifting the heart up toward the thumbs. Sealing our practice together with one Om. The best within me bows to the best within you. Namaste.